What's up, shredders? Today we'll be going over how to build custom wheel. So for this little guide, I'll be using two examples here. We have a 27.5 wheel for a downhill bike with a set on it, and then I have a 26-inch wheel that is single speed for a dirt jumper. The concept is pretty much the same. For how to source the parts, we're not actually going to be going over how to physically build it. It's more about, sourcing the parts, getting the right thing for your bike, get it right the first time. So we'll be starting off with the single speed. This one was a little easier to build. So when you start off, you want to start off with the most important part, which is the hub. The hub is one of my favorite parts of the bike. It's where you can get a lot of the sound from. Bikes are pretty quiet, but when you get a nice hub, you get that sound. Get a little close up. So what you have making that sound is the pawls going against the inside of the hub. This one has, I think, 84 points of engagement. This is the Hope Trials hub. So when you pedal forward, it engages a little quicker. Then we have another Hope hub. This one has 44 points of engagement though. It just less clicks, so it does have a little bit different of a sound. I'm a fan of Hope because profile, really good option if you can afford it. But yeah, we'll be going over where you need to go to source the parts. So starting off, you're going to want to find the hub you want. That's ground zero, finding the hub you want and making sure it's the right size. And what it comes down to the width of the hub, and it comes down to what kind of driver you're running. With a single speed, you can run it's a splined, like a Shimano splined. And they make little kits. Reverse has a kit where they have these spacers and a lock ring with a 13 tooth ring. And these are obviously different styles. So this is more of like a clamping style where these things bolt down and clamp down on a dirt jump frame, while this one is a through axle. So the axle goes through it and clamps down. So two different styles, and what it comes down to is what your bike is meant for. And I'll show you how to do that as well. I'll be putting little screenshots up as well. So starting off, you're going to want to go to the spec list for your bike. So this is for a Cruz V10 downhill bike, 2018. So simple Google search 2018 Santa Cruz V10. It's a C. I mean, I don't know if there's a difference between the C and the CC, but I like to be as specific as I can with my searching. So I searched that with spec list, and I think it'll be like Vital Mountain Bike, whatever. There's a bunch of different websites that'll have the specs, and you'll go down and look for the rear hub size. I don't know this off the top of my head, but I'll include it with a screenshot. And then you find that rear hub size, and you essentially try to just copy the existing build you have, because it's obviously fitted for the bike. But putting in nicer parts. It could be colored parts. If you wanted it to be louder, you can get something with more engagement points, or you could look for something that's quieter. Doesn't matter. More engagement points, you get more pedal feel. With a downhill bike, you're obviously not pedaling as much. With a DJ bike, you're just doing a lot of pumping, but you're still doing some pedaling. So yeah, once you figure out what hub you want, it's time to move on to what rim you want. This is a DT Swiss rim. This is your downhill rim. I removed the stickers on both of them just because I think it's a little cleaner without them. But yeah, so second step is finding what rim you want. And that's kind of comes down to what style of riding you're doing. I mean, this is a heavy duty downhill rim for a downhill bike. This even has cush core in it as well. So once you find the rim, obviously there's two things when it comes to the rim. When you search for a rim, you want to emphasize if it's a disc brake or it's not a disc brake. For like a BMX bike, obviously it doesn't need to be disc, or on a dirt jumper, the front wheel, if you're not running a front wheel with a disc brake, you don't have to, but that's just a thing with rims. And then once you find your hub and your rim, then you're going to want to plug that in to a spoke length calculator. And I'll add a link to this below. I'll also throw a screenshot on. And this is where, the tricky part, kind of comes in. It's like, what length spokes do you want? And it, as a calculator that does it for you, you put in the model of your hub, like the exact one you found. For instance, this one, I know the size of this one. This is a 10, so the axle size is 10 by 135. This is in millimeters, so the width of it is 135. So you put in, 10 by 135. And this is a SunRingle rim. I'll also put the specs to these wheels. I mean, if you're a fan of them. This is, I think it's like a 31, SunRingle with 31. Very cost effective. This one is pretty cheap. You can get these rims for like $35 each. So yeah, you put in the rim and the hub, and then it'll give you the length of the spokes. And then you can go and pick out your spokes. I'll link a website too. It's called Pro Wheel Builder. That's where I got the spokes and the nipples for both these wheels. And this is where you can get colored spokes. So this one obviously has orange spokes. I think they're pretty cool. And it has orange nipples as well. I also got an orange valve stem as well. And then that's like the fun part about a custom wheel, is you can really like spec out, the details for, your build. This is black spokes, but orange nipples. Kind of went with an orange theme with these. Got the Hope disc brake as well, and the orange reverse kit. So yeah, okay, backtrack. So Pro Wheel Builder, that's where I get my spokes from, and my nipples from. And yeah, I mean they're good. They come pretty quick, and yeah, it does the trick. So I'll link that below. Got this ad coming on. Got Dylan Stark's Real Heat. Just throw something on in the background. So yeah, what else? Tires, I mean, these are 2.5s. I like to get the widest tires I can get without them being plus. These are 2.3s. Maxxis makes great rubber. Mini DTH. These are double wall. Got cush core in it. Tubeless. And this is just has a Maxxis tube in it. Yeah. Okay, just gonna add a couple things. So once you source all these parts, what you're gonna want to do is you want to bring them to a local bike shop, someone you trust, to help you build it all up. The build itself, the labor, usually 80 to $100. Not too bad, for what it is. I mean, you walk into a bike shop with hubs, spokes, nipples, and a rim. You walk out with a built wheel. I mean, it's the best feeling ever. I mean, you drop it off just in parts, and then you get back a rideable wheel. I mean, it's a satisfying feeling. So totally recommend it. What else? Yeah, I'll have the specs to both of these wheels in the description. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, make sure to subscribe and keep the content coming. Peace out, Shredders.